Yo, what is going on, guys? Alex7 here, and welcome back to another test drive unlimited Solar Crown video. And today we're talking about WRC generations and some of the features that we would be seeing in TDU SC and some of the stuff that is shared between the two games from KT. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this video. Now I'm going to be showing you the livery editor in WRC, some game modes in WRC generations that I really do hope make its way into TDU SC, as well as some things such as break animations, etc, etc. But let's get straight on to this. Now if you're unaware, in my last video from yesterday I went over 5 dev interview articles from Alain Janou and someone named Benoit Jacquer. Now Benoit is someone who works on the KT engine as a technical director at KT, and he had this to say. Up on the screen is what we're going to be going over first. He does say, and then there's plenty of other ways that tech can carry over from WRC to TDU. Benoit said the core part with our physics algorithms is not to be specific to a car. We share our technology between WRC generations and Test Drive Unlimited, so when we started developing our hybrid system on TDU, yes, the hybrid system on TDU, but we said we needed it now that it's official for WRC generations. So we did a lot of things and optimization. Basically the tuning and the gameplay is per game specific, but the core features are shared between projects. Now with that being said, stuff like the livery editor, photo mode, I'm sure very obviously going to be shared between TDU and WRC. But the one that I did not see coming is actually WRC's hybrid system. So let's talk about that for a second. Now new to the WRC season this year are hybrid vehicles, which I'm sure we all know what those are. And with those hybrid vehicles came 2 things within WRC generations that KT had to implement. One, the new hybrid vehicles, and then a hybrid vehicle system to go with that. And in WRC generations, there's 3 modes of how this works. Now in the background, you can actually see some gameplay of WRC generations, and you can actually see the hybrid mapping that I have. I've seen 1, 2, and 3. There's also a blue electric boost gauge, and then there's also a battery gauge right underneath that. How it works is that as you brake, you replenish this electrical boost, and then it kicks in higher on the car's rev range, and it basically obviously gives you a boost. So if you choose map 1, basically the boost drains quicker, but it gives you a faster acceleration. 2 would be the average, and then 3 would be the opposite. And then once your full battery is depleted, then it's done. But that is how it recharges. Now some of you might be comparing this to McLaren's P1 curve system, which is where you brake, and I think the Senna has it as well. But basically when you brake, it actually recharges the battery. And there are a ton of vehicles that actually have a hybrid system like that. So for KT to say that they developed a hybrid system for TDU, but then said, you know what, we actually have to put it in WRC, it's pretty crazy, because so far we actually have 1 vehicle confirmed that is a hybrid, and you guys know what that is. That is the 918 Porsche Spider. It was actually teased in 2020 in the very first teaser trailer that we've ever seen. So with that being said, a hybrid system in TDU, along with pretty much near sim physics, which is what we also learned in my previous video. I told you guys that KT is not going to give us some arcade foolishness. They're actually going to be aiming for something more sim-like compared to the crew, I sure do hope so, or Forza Horizon 5, or pretty much all the Forza Horizons. KT really does want to make this a sim kind of game. Granted, the last TDU game was quite different, so this is a very good thing to hear that we're going in a more sim direction. But this hybrid system is huge, guys. It really kind of opens my eyes to what else KT is planning with these vehicles, because then you'll really get a special connection with these cars unlike any other game before. In fact, again, I don't even think games like Forza Horizon or The Crew or Need for Speed have the curve system actually enabled where it actually works. So stuff like that is pretty interesting, and I cannot wait to hear more about TDU, which is probably gonna be late next year for release, hopefully so. And again, this gets me really excited because this just means they're really aiming to have a personal connection with our cars, and I'm all for having an actual hybrid system in the game. And of course, it also means that we might even see EVs with a similar like system. There are so many other vehicles, the LaFerrari as well, I'm pretty sure is another one. I mean, the list can go on and on. I mean, all we need now is a Toyota Prius to end up in the game so we can get some real hybrid system matching with that vehicle. It's gonna be pretty interesting if you guys know what I mean. But that is how the hybrid system works in WRC generations, and I'm sure you guys are very happy to hear that as well. Let me know what other car features and car modes modes, I guess you could say, would be in TDU SC, because I just want to point out as well, guys, that maybe we could also see race modes for vehicles. For example, the Lamborghini Huracan, could we see Corsa Strada, and I forgot the other mode that it has, but different modes for the vehicle. Is that possibly what we could be seeing in TDU SC? We're gonna have to wait and find out more, but it is quite interesting and even further give you a connection with your car. Let's go ahead and let me show you some other features from WRC Generations that are very most likely going to be ending up in TDU SC. Okay, so you beat out WRC Generations, head over to something called the Showroom. Now, key thing I want to talk about in the Showroom is I really hope that this is something that makes its way into TDU SC as a standalone store. Not per se, I want this to be the dealership or I want this to be what our garage looks like. I want us to have an actual store that we can enter and prop our car up like this. And if you didn't notice, you can actually move around the table with your controller for certain pictures. You can even change the headlights. You can turn them on and off. You can even change the showroom appearance. Again, you can move around, change the camera. It is a beautiful scene. And having a photo booth shop where you can bring your car to and just take pictures like this, come on, why would you guys not want to see something like that? I mean, people already do it in Forza Horizon 5. They have to create stuff in the event lab to take pictures. Why not just give us something like that? I mean, TDU2 did have something called the photo place where you actually went there to see what pictures you still need to take. I forgot the guy's name. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'll probably put up a picture on the screen for you now. But imagine if this was basically a revised version and upgraded to look like this, where you can actually bring your car in. I'm all for it. I don't know about you guys, but that's something I really want to see, and it's very well done in WRC Generations. But now, new to WRC Generations is the ability to share liveries and stickers. So this is very good. This is something that we're probably going to be seeing move over into TDU SC as well. And personally, I quite like the UI, but not only the UI, I also very much like how they set this all up. Again, very easy. You can source stuff from most recent. Overall, you can actually search the sticker name and even search someone's username, and it's separated by liveries that you can search. My liveries that I've personally made, you got stickers and other people's stickers that they have made as well. So right here you guys can see, for example, Ken Block's RS was actually made by someone named Wayfast YT26. You can see he's made 354 liveries. I hope I'm reading that right. Pretty crazy. But if you go over, there's a ton of people that have actually made liveries for historical vehicles, which I'm sure a lot of you are very excited about. And this is again something that we could be seeing in TDU SC. And of course, you can sort it by most liked. And for example, here is one of the really good esports guy, OL Nexel. You guys can see that he's made this beautiful Honda i20N Rally 1 livery, which looks incredible. So stuff like this, man, not everyone is as detailed and as good at making liveries, so make it shareable, which is what we have here. Pretty cool, and I can't wait to see this in TDU SC, and I can't wait to see people make liveries as well, because I'm sure that game is going to have a lot more players making them than in WRC. Okay, but now let's take a look at the livery editor. Now this has changed completely since the last WRC. KT have revamped the hell out of it, and I'm so excited that they have. This is just giving me more hope for TDU SC. As you guys can see, you can change the paint finish, add stickers. It's like any other thing that you could possibly do, right? Here are all of the different designs you have, and again, compared to what TDU2 had, and I mean, then again, at the time that it released, compared to what we have now, it's very exciting to see. You can see all the different textures, elements, nature, cartoons, logos, flags, fonts. The only thing I do hope is that there are more logos in TDU SC. Granted, that also all comes down to licensing, but it'd be nice, even if those products aren't in the game, it'd be nice to have pre-made emblems like this, or even give us the ability to upload stuff or liveries from PC. Again, PC is probably going to be the place where you'd be able to do that only, but again, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I don't mind, because there are always super talented people making stickers and liveries for us anyways, for us to download and create our own stuff as well. So of course, what I'm actually going to show you now is actually what the livery editor looks like when you're placing stickers. So we're going to search for Logitech. We got a Logitech emblem here. Doesn't really quite look like the Logitech symbol, but it'll do for what we have to do. Anyways, so we're gonna download that. Once you've downloaded it, you can actually go in here and take a look at it, and it looks completely different from the previous WRC iteration. and it looks, in my opinion, this is a very good livery editor. But again, for people who make liveries for their life, let me know down in the comment section below if you think that this is a good livery editor. It has a ton of features in it, more than compared before. The only one I don't really get is at the bottom, which is projection boundaries. I'm not too certain how this one works. Maybe when it's off the side of a body panel, it projects it onto the next one. Not too certain how it works, but that's just probably what you guys are gonna know more than me. Now, of course, moving on, you also have photo mode. Now, photo mode is something that has been in this game since WRC 9, and I think they've improved it very well over the time. So as you guys can see, we got photo mode pulled up here, and it's actually pretty cool. So like your basic camera, you can move around, rotate the camera up, down, roll left and right. Then you also have the effect settings. So anything from aperture, focus distance, field of view, filter intensity, stuff like that. The only thing that I think is missing, unless I'm kind of misunderstanding this, is shutter speed. But shutter speed, you can kind of get it if you play with the aperture and focus distance. But nonetheless, it'd be nice if we have a better version of it. Then again, I'm not really a professional picture taker, but it'd be nice if we actually had a feature like shutter speed, so we can actually make the car look like it's moving, stuff like that, guys, for the picture. I'm only assuming that is something that we're going to be seeing in TDU SC. I really hope so. That's the only thing that I have to say about the photo mode. But let's talk about some very small details in WRC Generations that I'm sure are also going to make it over into TDU SC. Now, a lot of these things I've actually covered in my previous WRC 9 attention to detail video. I'll leave a link down to that in the description below. So I'm just going to run over this super quick. I mean, you have glowing brake discs, which is a no-brainer. You also have simulated tire flex, which, by the way, this physics goes so deep. Not only does it simulate the tire flex, it also expands and contracts the tires under heat from the brakes or from the tires, which is pretty crazy. I mean, on top of that, even when you're braking, you can see more weight is on the front of the vehicle, so the front tires compress more. Sliding, you can see the tire kind of stretch to the left or the right, depending which way you're going. KT have done that super well. Also, of course, the characters move around in the vehicle. That's something that we're going to be seeing in TDU SC. Stuff that are already in the KT engine is going to be shared into TDU SC. Of course, pedal animations, which, by the way, not a single open world racing game has pedal animations. KT, make us be the first. The only thing I do want to say, KT, is, and I think I speak for a lot of people here, we want to see steering wheel animation greater than 180 degrees. Everyone does it. We're going for the more sim route here, so please give us a steering wheel animation that's way more than 180 degrees. Even 640 is fine. You can even go the set of Corsa route and do 900. All I'm asking is more than 180 degrees. In fact, I want to be able to do this at minimum in the steering wheel rotation animation. But that's one thing I do want to note. But other than that, your basic shift changes, all of that is what came with the KT engine. So I'm pretty excited to hear more about TDU SC, guys, in the future, which is probably going to be early 2023. We don't know when in 2023 it's going to release, but I'm willing to bet it's going to be on the second half of the year after the summer. So we got a long way to go, but it is what it is, man. We gotta be patient. KT really want to perfect this game, and I don't think any of us really want this game to be released half finished or even 99% finished. I think a lot of us want this franchise to succeed, and in order to succeed, we're gonna have to wait because the studio is gonna have to take its time. I mean, one of the reasons I think it was late in the first place was houses. Maybe they didn't add houses in time and they had to now. But that's all I have for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like down below and subscribe for more TDU SC content. Daily uploads, man. I'm on it and I got it. I'm out, guys. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.